Since the Super Mario Bros. Movie was originally supposed to come out this month, I thought I'd go back and look at one of Mario's most well-known games that came out more than 25 years ago. So here's my review of Super Mario 64. Certainly, this is not only one of the greatest video games ever made, but this is personally one of my favorite games on the N64 simply because of how revolutionary it was for its time. And so the story from this one is that Mario must save Princess Peach from Bowser, and in order to save her, he has to unlock Power Stars in order to unlock the doors in Princess Peach's castle. And there are so many things I like about this video game, from the music, to the graphics which look good for a time, to the levels, to even this game introducing 3 new power-ups. One that made Mario fly, another one that made him into Metal Mario, and then a third one which gave him the ability to be invisible and pass through solid objects. But what really made this video game legendary is the mere fact how it took video games and transformed them into the 3D era. Before this game came out, a lot of games were side-scrollers. 3D video games wasn't the norm, so this game changed how video games were played, just like how GoldenEye 007 had changed first-person shooters. Nonetheless though, while not the perfect video game, this was the forefather of the 3D platformer. Now, I actually did go back and replay some of this game recently, and I must say this video game is still fun today as it was when I first played it when I was a kid. The 3D platforming, the collecting of the Power Stars, it all comes together to make quite an iconic video game. This game ain't perfect, I'll admit. The camera control was very wonky for the time this game came out, and this game really doesn't have that much of a story. Not like the story from, let's say, a video game like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It doesn't have a story nowhere near that complex. But at the same time, this video game is really about having fun. One question I had about this game though throughout the years, where the hell is Luigi? You would think Luigi would have been in this game, not a playable character, but making a cameo appearance or something. I just find it odd the developers of this game never put Luigi in this one, because I guess they wanted to make the focus about Mario. I mean, it is a Mario game after all. One thing I will say about this game is that fighting Bowser 3 times, it makes sense because he is the arch enemy of Mario. And while this game hasn't aged all that well, it did pave the way for Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Sunshine, 2 superior games in their own rights. Like, Mario is the flagship of Nintendo. He's been around for decades. But this was the very first Mario game that crossed into the 3D world, and it eventually did lead to those other 3D games that will happen years later. Now, I admit, this game is great. It's a game that I have enjoyed so much throughout the years. And this is a game I certainly would recommend to people out there who never played it, because despite how old this game is, it still is legendary for the status that it is. And not just that, it's a video game that has a lot of enjoyment in it, and obviously people are still playing more than 2 decades later. I'm giving this video game an 8 out of 10. The legacy of this game speaks for itself. It was so iconic that it actually was remade for the Nintendo DS back in 2004. This video game is so great that it has developed a cult following with many fan games out there, as well as people doing speed running just to see how quickly they can beat this game. And not only that, but this is actually the best selling Nintendo 64 game of all time, selling 12 million copies. And I must say, I haven't talked to people over years about it. They say this is without question one of their favorite video games, simply because of how much it had changed the gaming landscape back in the 90s. And that is my review of Super Mario 64. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this video game. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.